Hey guys, Dan here. I hope you are doing well today, wherever you are and whatever you're up to as well. Please do subscribe to check out all of the new videos and different things that are coming out as well. I'd love to keep up to date with you. And also, if you're able to share on social media, tag me in it. I always appreciate the feedback and love to be part of that community as well. I want to share with you guys something that I've been processing over the last year or so as we've been in the pandemic as well. So, thinking back, probably a lot can change within 12 months, right? Probably a lot have changed in your life as well as my life as well. Around 2009, I had a sense in my life of the calling of God to devote my life, to devote energy, time to the local church. I didn't necessarily know or expect the exact circumstances or the exact context that would be in, but I had a deep passion in me to help other Christians, to help followers of Jesus, to follow him well, to follow him authentically, to be passionate about God, to navigate the ups and downs of life. And so that's been a real passion in mine to encourage others. And there was also a deep sense in me as well that actually church planting and leading church is one of those ways of outworking that as well, and building those communities, relationships, and helping others follow Jesus. And so that since then, over the last 12 years, 11 years, so I've been looking at different opportunities, thinking about it, praying about it as well, what the next steps are around that. In 2017, at the end of the year, my pastor approached me and asked me to consider starting a new location as part of our multi-site church. Planting a new location, leading that location as well, and taking time to pray into that, to think about that. We were like, yeah, we think that's the right next step as well, and we were going to launch the city centre location of Destiny Church, Edinburgh. And so over that time, there was maybe some setbacks and timings and all that kind of stuff, but we were able to pin down a date for when we wanted to launch, and the first launch evening was going to be Monday the 16th of March 2020. And so we had a venue, we had a team, all of that kind of stuff. But if you think back now, I know time has just been a weird thing over the last little while throughout the pandemic and lockdown, but that was actually the dates. Monday the 16th of March 2020 was the date the Scottish Government announced that we were going into our first lockdown in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And that was like, wow, that is so we had no idea what to expect of that. We had no idea what the next few months would look like. I probably expected that it'd last for a few months and then we would be all back to normal. Maybe a few of us were expecting that, and now we're like, wow, no, that was the wrong expectations to have, right? And so that just started a wave of uncertainty in, I think in many, many people, like, what does the future hold? And it was uncertain for me. I had made plans, all that kind of stuff. I love planning as well, but it was all thrown up in the air. And in September 2020, after must be about 6 months or so of the pandemic, we're like, okay, this is not going to go ahead. We need to make some shifts. We need to put this on pause, the whole idea of planting the city centre location church. And while that was the right call, it was a tough call as well. And there's a sense in me of grief and confusion that it was, hard. And probably, over the 6 months since that point, in my soul, there's been grief, going through the different stages of grief, like denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, and a wrestling with questions such as, did we hear God right in the first place? Do I have a purpose anymore or ever? How can dreams and plans suddenly just be over like that? And it's not been fun, it's not been pretty, but throughout this time I know that I've had to trust in God even more. I've had to lean into him. I've had to trust that even if I'm not sure what he's doing, that I trust who he is. And try to see the moments of confusion and uncertainty as invitations to trust God, that he is bigger than my current circumstances. And the plans for me maybe the plans for you, they are not our plans. They are and our purposes. They are actually God's purposes on me, on us, and actually it's up to Him to make these things happen. And so I think our responsibility, my responsibility, is that we're obedient to what we believe God is saying to us in the moment, to the best of our ability. And so this journey I've been on, it's been interesting. It's been ups and downs, but the changes that He's done in me and through me in this time, I still believe that the best days are ahead. I believe that God is good. I believe He's got purposes and plans. And a lot can change in 12 months. A lot has probably changed in your life in the last 12 months. But I'm excited to see what God will do in the future. I'm excited to see how He repositions me and us as we figure out what the future holds as well. So I don't know what 12 months from now will look like, but I am certain that God is good and He will be faithful through all the changes as well. Through any confusion, all of that kind of stuff. God is good through that. So 12 months ago, I wouldn't have expected to be where I'm at now, but I'm glad that I have Him, glad that I'm walking with Him as well. I want to just share maybe a question or two just for you to reflect on, if you want, as well. So, how have you responded to uncertainty, to changes and plans, especially over this last 12 months? What have you learned through that? What differences has that made in your life? And also, what would you like to grow in your faith in times of uncertainty as well? So guys, thank you so much for connecting with us. Please do let me know in comments, drop me a message on social media or whatever. I would love to hear from you. But thanks so much and see you soon.